Laughter echoed across the cafeteria. Wow, did you see her tray? She's eating again? One girl sneered. Another added, she'll never fit in with the popular crowd. Gross. Sujin froze, cheeks burning, eyes down at her tray of food. Her fingers shook as she tried to scoop her rice quietly. Across the hall, Ji-hoon, the school's most handsome and admired boy, watched silently. His brow furrowed slightly, curiosity flickering in his eyes. A tray clattered to the floor. Sujin had dropped it, and everyone gasped, pointing and laughing. Some even filmed it on their phones. Seriously? Can't she just disappear? One girl hissed. Sujin shrank, wanting to vanish, heart pounding. Tears stung her eyes, but she forced herself to pick up the tray. Ji-hoon walked toward her, calm and confident. He stopped in front of her, blocking the mocking crowd. Are you okay? He asked softly. The cafeteria went silent. Everyone stared, and then the cafeteria buzzed with whispers. But Ji-hoon stayed by Sujin's side. He picked up her tray carefully and placed it back on the table. You don't have to eat alone, he said quietly, scanning the crowd. Sujin blinked, stunned. Her heart raced. No one had ever treated her like this, not even a glance without mockery. Thank you, she stammered, lowering her head. Ji-hoon tilted his chair to face her. Ignore them. You're stronger than you think. Whispers turned into snickers. Heir, the leader of the popular girls, rolled her eyes. Why is he talking to her? Seriously, does he have no taste? One girl snapped a photo of them. Heir smirked. This is going to go viral. She's going to regret this. Sujin's stomach twisted. She wanted to run, hide, or even disappear. But Ji-hoon's gaze stayed on her, steady and unjudging. You're not like them, he said softly. You'll see. One day everyone will notice who you really are. For the first time in years, Sujin believed someone saw her, not the fat girl everyone laughed at, but her. The next day, Sujin entered the school, bracing herself for the usual stares. She kept her head low, clutching her bag tightly, but as she passed the lockers, a soft voice stopped her. Sujin, wait. She turned slowly. Ji-hoon stood there, leaning casually against the wall, a small smile on his face. Her heart jumped. You don't have to walk alone, he said. I can walk with you. Her cheeks heated instantly. I'm fine, she mumbled, looking away. Ji-hoon stepped closer. No, really, don't listen to them. People say mean things because they're insecure. That doesn't make you any less amazing. Sujin blinked, unsure if he was joking. Me? Amazing? Yes, you're different and special. His words lingered in the air, making her stomach flutter. Before she could respond, Heir and her friends appeared, glaring. Wow, look at the fat girl with the perfect Ji-hoon. Heir sneered. Does he even know what he's doing? The whispers around the hallway grew louder. Sujin's ears burned with embarrassment. Ji-hoon didn't flinch. Instead, he stepped slightly in front of her, shielding her from the ridicule. Ignore them, he said calmly. They're jealous. Sujin's heart pounded. Nobody had ever stood up for her like this, not just words but actions. She felt a strange mix of gratitude and nervous excitement. As they walked to class together, Ji-hoon glanced at her and whispered, I think one day they'll all regret underestimating you. During lunch, Sujin sat quietly in the corner, trying to focus on her food. She barely noticed the stares anymore. That is, until Ji-hoon slid into the seat across from her. You saved me a spot, he said, grinning. Mind if I join you? Her heart skipped. Sure, she stammered, cheeks burning. Heir and her friends froze across the room. Whispers spread like wildfire. Is he really sitting with her again? One girl gasped. That fat girl. Sujin looked down, embarrassed, but Ji-hoon didn't flinch. He pulled out his sandwich and offered half to her. Here, you looked hungry yesterday. She hesitated, then smiled and accepted it. Thanks, she whispered. Heir huffed and turned away, muttering, Impossible. Nobody deserves him but me. Meanwhile, Ji-hoon leaned slightly closer. You're brave, you know that, he said softly, his eyes warm. Sujin's heart raced. Brave? Him? She didn't know how to respond. Across the cafeteria, the popular girls seethed, realizing their teasing and judgment meant nothing anymore. After school, Sujin stayed behind in the library to finish her homework. She kept glancing at the door, half expecting Hairin or her friends to mock her again. A shadow fell across her table. She looked up. Ji-hoon was there, leaning casually against the bookshelf. "You're still here?" he asked, smiling. I have a lot of homework," she mumbled, heart racing. He pulled out a chair. "Mind if I help?" Sujin hesitated, then nodded. As they worked together, he teased her gently, making her laugh despite herself. For a moment, she forgot the teasing, the embarrassment, even the stares. But then a whisper cut through the quiet library. Hairin had followed them. "He's helping her? Unbelievable." Sujin's stomach twisted. She looked down, wishing she could disappear. Ji-hoon noticed her discomfort. His expression softened. "Don't worry about them," he whispered. "I like seeing you smile. That's all that matters." Sujin's eyes widened. His words, they weren't just kind. They felt personal. Her chest tightened, a warmth spreading she hadn't felt before. The next morning, Sujin walked into class, trying to ignore the stares. But Hairin and her friends weren't subtle. "Wow, look who's here," Hairin sneered, flipping her hair. "The fat girl who thinks she belongs with Ji-hoon." Sujin's cheeks burned, but she kept walking, clutching her books. Ji-hoon appeared beside her, placing a hand lightly on her shoulder. "Ignore them," he said softly, his calm voice sending a shiver through her. Hairin's eyes narrowed. "Oh, I see," she whispered to her friends. "He actually likes her. This is ridiculous." During class, whispers spread like wildfire. Every glance from Ji-hoon to Sujin made Hairin's fury grow. She scribbled notes and passed them to her friends, plotting to humiliate Sujin in front of everyone. At lunch, Hairin called out loudly, pretending to joke. "Hey, Sujin, are you really sitting with him again? Don't choke on your food." The cafeteria froze for a second, all eyes on them. Sujin's hands trembled, but Ji-hoon reached across, holding hers gently. "It's fine. Don't listen to them," he whispered. Her heart raced. For the first time, she realized that despite all the teasing and jealousy, he would always have her back. The school festival was in full swing. Colorful decorations hung from every hallway, laughter and music filling the air. Sujin tried to enjoy it, but her nerves were tied in knots. "Don't be nervous," Ji-hoon whispered as he appeared beside her near the game stalls. "I'll be with you." Her heart skipped. I just hope nothing embarrassing happens," she murmured. Hairin and her friends loitered nearby, scanning the crowd. "Look at them," Hairin hissed. "Everyone's watching. What's he doing with her?" As they walked past, a group of students accidentally bumped into Sujin, causing her to drop her books. Before she could apologize, Ji-hoon bent down, helping her gather the books. His hand brushed hers. A spark shot through her chest, leaving her breathless. Sujin looked up and found herself staring into his warm, intense eyes. Around them, whispers and laughter faded into silence. Ji-hoon leaned slightly closer, voice soft but confident. "You don't need to be afraid. I'm with you." Her heart raced, and in that suspended moment, Sujin realized this was more than kindness. The festival stage lit up with bright lights and students gathered around for the final performance. Sujin clutched her bag nervously, trying to blend into the crowd. Ji-hoon appeared beside her, his hand brushing hers. "Stay close," he said, his gaze unwavering. From across the courtyard, Hairin's eyes burned with jealousy. "Everyone's watching," she hissed. "This is humiliating." As the music swelled, a sudden shove from a group of students sent Sujin stumbling forward. Gasps echoed through the crowd. Without thinking, Ji-hoon caught her, holding her close. His eyes searched hers, soft and protective. "Are you okay?" he asked, his voice carrying over the whispers. Sujin's cheeks flamed, and she nodded, heart pounding. Then, without hesitation, Ji-hoon leaned in and pressed his lips gently to hers, right in front of everyone. The crowd went silent, then erupted into shocked murmurs. Sujin froze, stunned, but a warmth spread through her chest. She realized she wasn't embarrassed anymore. She was happy. Hairin's jaw dropped. Other girls whispered, some cried, others gawked. For Sujin, all the humiliation, the teasing, the long years of feeling invisible, It vanished in that single, unforgettable moment. The festival stage buzzed with whispers. Students pointed and stared, replaying the shocking moment in their minds. Heirin stormed toward Jihoon and Sujin, her face red with anger. "How could you do that in front of everyone?" she shouted. Jihoon didn't back down. "Why does it matter to you? She's the one I care about," he said firmly. Sujin's heart raced. She looked at him, astonished and grateful. Nobody had ever defended her so openly. Across the crowd, the other students' reactions were mixed. Some clapped, some whispered, some shook their heads in disbelief. But gradually, the admiration for Sujin grew. They began to see her not as the girl everyone mocked for being fat, but as brave, confident, and worthy. Heirin's friends exchanged awkward glances, realizing their cruel words no longer held power. Sujin finally smiled, feeling a weight lift from her shoulders. She had faced ridicule, embarrassment, and jealousy, and now she had love, respect, and courage. Jihoon squeezed her hand gently. "You're amazing," he whispered. For the first time, Sujin believed him, and herself. Everything that had been humiliating, painful, and lonely led to this moment of victory and love. The next day at school, the hallways were different. Whispers followed Sujin, but they weren't cruel this time. Students smiled, waved, and some even congratulated her. The humiliation of the past seemed distant, replaced by admiration. Jihoon met her at her locker. "Morning," he said, flashing his familiar warm smile. Sujin blushed, heart fluttering. "Morning," she replied, feeling lighter than she had in years. Heirin glared from across the hall, but her confidence had shifted. She realized her teasing couldn't touch Sujin anymore. The girl she mocked now radiated strength, charm, and a quiet beauty. During lunch, Jihoon joined Sujin at her table as always. He leaned close and whispered, "You don't have to hide anymore. I like you for who you are." Sujin smiled, eyes sparkling. "I like you too," she admitted softly. The rest of the day passed with laughter, small glances, and playful teasing between them. Sujin realized something important. Being herself, not perfect and not flawless, was enough. That evening, walking home, she felt proud, happy, and loved. For the first time, she believed in herself completely. All the past ridicule, all the tears, had led to this: friendship, love, and a future full of hope. The moral lesson of this story is true courage and self-love can turn humiliation into admiration and open the heart of someone who truly sees you.